Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to our go home show. The Evolution will be televised. We are heading towards No Way Out. That's the February pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. Decent show planned tonight, so let's crack straight into it for Monday Night Raw. So we're starting with Evolution in the ring. Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair cut a promo about what's basically going to happen tonight. Of course, we'll find out who will face Triple H at No Way Out in that fatal four-way main event between Stone Cold Steve Austin, Scott Steiner, Christian, and Chris Jericho. So they're basically just laughing about basically how they're one big unit, but everyone else is kind of like feuding with each other. How you had Austin and Steiner having a match last week, and obviously they're kind of words between each other. So that promo starts with a B78. Randy Orton worked the crowd well, using the freedom to improvise to his advantage. Triple H improvised well and created a brand new catchphrase. Whether that would be. Batista didn't do well without a script, but Ric Flair improvised well. Batista performed poorly. Randy Orton was underwhelming. Triple H was a star. He got the show off to a strong start and the crowd hotter. But it's segments like this, as we continually say, that will develop Evolution to that next level. So a good way to start the show with a B78. This leads to our opener, which is about the great wrestling and good heat. And it sees Ric Flair and Triple H defeat the Dudleys in 12:27 when Ric Flair defeated Devon Dudley by pinfall. Of course, Triple H is going to be head and shoulders above everyone else. B81's good. Dudleys are obviously going to show good chemistry. Flair's going to be continually hit with declining physical ability, so every so often we will have him win a couple of matches, because let's be honest, I don't think he retired for another 4 or 5 years after this. I can't remember the exact date top of my head, but we'll continue to push him as an active competitor as long as we can. So good win for Evolution, Ric Flair and Triple H. And yeah, there's just a few negatives there, mostly for the Nature Boy. After the matchup, obviously the Dudleys have lost, and they get their asses handed to them by Jamal and Rosie. 3-minute warning, beat them down, and this gets a C62. Next up, in a poor matchup, Mark Henry defeats Spike Dudley in 6:09 by pinfall. At D+50, Mark Henry was unfortunately off his game. Theodore Long doing some good work at ringside. It's going to take a bit of time to obviously build Mark Henry up, but it's another matchup where hopefully we can get him there. And after the matchup, while Henry celebrates his win, Kane decides to return, beats the shit out of Mark Henry, and that brings a C+70 as Mark Henry runs to the back. Mark came across pretty poorly in this, but Kane came across well. And not quite the Hall of Pain storyline advances here, because obviously these kind of matches we're hoping can help mould Mark Henry into that talent that he became in real life. So Bischoff then comes out and he just confirms that we are going to see it No Way Out. Mark Henry and Kane 1v1. I think we all seen it coming. But C+66, and that storyline advances with that angle. We then see backstage Terry Reynolds again flirting with Evolution's Randy Orton to a C61. Ric Flair helped Randy Orton during the segment again. And we then saw a women's tag team match. It was a poor matchup that saw Jazz and Victoria defeat Jacqueline and Trish Stratus in 6:01 when Jazz defeated Jacqueline with the Jazz Stinger, C-58. Disappointingly, Jazz was off her game here, one of the weaker links, but we'll build her up and hopefully she'll reach the level of Trish and Victoria. Jazz improves in technical and performance skills. This was a storytelling match that would have again hampered the overall rating. Next up, backstage, Lance Storm and William Regal attack Goldust backstage, leaving them down and out. C+70. This is obviously leading to a match later on tonight with Booker T. I believe it's William Regal. So obviously they're taking Goldie out of the equation with the numbers game. And this does actually lead to a matchup. Great wrestling and good heat. William Regal defeats Booker T in 9:52 by pinfall, following a distraction from Lance Storm. B78. Booker T with a much better performance than Regal, but it gains a bit of heat in the storyline and obviously has us asking questions going forward. Both men improve in their performance skills. This leads to Eric Bischoff coming back out again, and he indicates that we'll see the Tag Team Championships on the line. It is going to be Booker T and Goldust against Lance Storm and William Regal. So C plus 70, Bischoff worked the crowd well. He looked good as well in this segment, but the storyline advancing, losing a little bit of heat. Next up, we had a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, and it saw the team of Shawn Michaels and Kane defeat Batista and Randy Orton in 13:48 when Shawn Michaels defeated Randy Orton with Sweet Chin Music. B80 saw a very good match up there. It's one of those matches we can't keep Evolution's members unbeaten. Sometimes they are going to have to lose, but you hope when they face talents like Shawn Michaels and Kane, they will gain some skill points from this and help the likes of Psychology too. Of course, Shawn Michaels going to look great there. Him and Kane always have excellent chemistry together, which is why I may use that as a tandem more often. 57 for Batista, 60 for Ric Flair shows, for Randy Orton, just shows the long story we've got ahead. But Randy improves in Rumble and performance skills. A few negatives there, just Batista's poor psychology and obviously Orton's poor gimmick, but a good co-main event. After the matchup, Kane just basically tells us he's going to get his revenge. He's going to take out Mark Henry, and that's going to be a B80 promo from the Big Red Machine, which gains some heat to the storyline. It's the first time he's really spoke about it, rather than Mark Henry just attack him. Then leading up to our main event, Steve Austin cuts a promo, hyping the matchup with Scott Steiner, Jericho, and of course, Christian. A92, Austin comes out of it looking good. Is Austin going to win the #1 contendership match tonight and possibly champion going in to WrestleMania? So storyline gains a bit of heat with that A92 promo. The match itself, B plus 83. It was about that had superb wrestling and great heat, and it was Scott Steiner who picked up the surprise win over Austin, Jericho and Christian when Steiner defeated Christian with a foreign object in 1909. Was unsure in this one. It was always going to be Steiner that went over. Austin doesn't need to be wrestling for a championship at a pay-per-view like No Way Out, in my opinion. So there is something planned for him. But we went with Steiner. I just felt like it was probably the better idea to go with him and Triple H. And we'll find Austin with something to do going out of this. But Austin got a 93, Jericho with a 90, Steiner 78, Christian with a 78. So overall, pretty happy with it. Christian improves Rumble skills. A few negatives because obviously Austin had drinking affecting his performance and booking decisions because we had to keep Austin looking strong. What it doesn't show you in the text there, but did happen in it, was that Austin was distracted by Chief Morley as the finish. Obviously then Bischoff being a bit erratic, they're sending out Chief Morley to stop Austin winning. This then leads to obviously Scott Steiner and Triple H having a heated confrontation and then fighting each other. Big brawl before security swarms and basically stops them from getting their hands on each other. So that matchup will take place at No Way Out. Steiner gets his rematch as chance for the title. A93, Triple H looked good. The storyline gained a bit of heat. So it was the last segment on the show because we don't want to, basically, I don't know how to put it, basically just making the title match look insignificant. After the showing off there, backstage, Eric Bischoff confirms that No Way Out, Steve Austin will go one-on-one with Chief Morley, and the guest referee will be Eric Bischoff. So Bischoff and Austin, I know they fought each other at this event, but I'd rather go with Austin and Morley rather than using Bischoff at all in any sort of wrestling capacity, so he will be the guest referee. So B78 there. End the show with a B plus 84, so we're kind of getting and maintaining a significant level of B pluses, which is good until we get more superstars to the level we want them. But the show increases pop in 20 regions again, that's successful. Just to give you a rundown of what is going to be happening at No Way Out, just as I can see from here. So we're going to have Austin versus Chief Morley, guest referee Eric Bischoff. We're going to have the World Heavyweight Championship on the line as Scott Steiner and Triple H go one-on-one against each other. We're going to see Kane take on Mark Henry. We're going to see the WWE World Tag Team Championships on the line as Booker T and Goldust defend them against William Regal and Lance Storm. Now I'm going to put these matches down. We may see them, we may not because of time constraints. But if there's time, because obviously I'm wanting to work it within time constraints, we may see the Dudleys against 3 Minute Warning. That's more than likely. There's a good chance we see Jazz versus Trish. That might be on a pre-show. And I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else we may see at the pay-per-view. We'll try and include maybe Shawn Michaels in that some way, but it may just have backstage angles. So before I even advance to the main screen, any predictions for those matches, please leave them in the comment section below the video. But we'll crack on just to see what news items we've got. There is one I got a couple of days ago which I've left to let you see. So let's see, Justice Pain, that's fine, Larry Zbyszko, New Kid Cash feud with Conan in TNA. But overall, fantastic reviews, and Heat didn't go down well at all. But what I wanted to show was a few here. So drug testing for Heat was 5k, that's fine. An 18.94 TV rating, 14,000 for drug testing at Raw. Triple H likes Chief Morley, that's interesting. Might give him a wee push then as Chief Morley. But what I wanted to show you was this dating thing. Now, it seems, I don't know if Matt and Lita was an item at this time, if they'd split or not. I'm assuming they hadn't because the Edge stuff was further down the line. But it seems the mod maker hadn't put them as a relationship because, boom, Daphne and Matt Hardy have begun dating. So, I don't know whether to put them as a tandem, whether to move Daphne to SmackDown, because she's technically not debuted on Raw, she's just been on Heat, which I'm effectively using as a kind of on-screen development. So I might move her to SmackDown, pair her up with Matt Hardy, and go from there. Which, yeah, I'll see, because there was plans to have her in some sort of stable with Raven, but we'll see. Let me know what you think, what you guys would like to see, Daphne and Matt, or Daphne with Raven. Who knows? Remains to be seen. But overall, I'm happy with the show. It gives us a couple of matches from the Raw side of things, going into No Way Out, and now I'm going to go ahead and book SmackDown and give more matches there. If I just quickly go to schedule, a 3-hour pay-per-view, so we don't want to be fitting in too many matches, or it's going to be a struggle to get it all on the broadcast. But yeah, as always guys, cheers for watching. As I say, let me know your predictions in the comment section below. Any comments on the series or your own series, let me know how you're getting on. Booking TEW, what mods you're using, etc, etc. Don't be afraid to, as I say, to link down below any other people's mods that have been created on the Grey Dog Software forums, or even any graphical stuff you'd like to, showcase to other bookers. But apart from that, likes, shares, etc. are deeply appreciated. Button will pop up to allow you to subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, there'll be the playlist of all previous episodes if you'd like to see how the Rumble went and other Raws and SmackDowns. But cheers for watching. Much appreciated. I'll catch you next time for the Go Home Show for WWE SmackDown. Bye bye.